Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another stream here at the Den of Nerds Live. Coming at you at a Friday morning. Lots to get into today. Yesterday, a couple of interesting things happened. First, Venom got delayed, and that was kind of interesting because there were two reports sort of back-to-back. There was one report that said, oh, they might move it to October. Oh, they might move it to January. Boom, it gets moved to October. We'll talk about that. But on that very same day, Disney had an investor call, and a lot of people were curious because if they were going to change Shang Chi and make it to the same day and date for Disney Plus release, then that would have been the perfect opportunity to talk about that yesterday on that earnings call. That did not happen, and we are likely thinking that because of an agreement that they already had going into the film. They're calling it a... hang on one second. Might have a issue with the stream. Is the stream chill? Are you guys... Are we live? Are we live? I don't know if it is, actually. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see it. We're live. Okay. So, yes, they said that they had a sort of agreed distribution model with Shang-Chi. And it's kind of surprising to me. I got to be honest with you. It's surprising to me because technically what happened was on the same day that another studio said, we're going to delay, and we're hoping that this first delay will get us out of the woods with what's going on with Delta. On that same day, Disney comes out and says, we're not getting rid of Premier Access, but Shang-Chi and Free Guy are both going to stick to theaters. So we've got it up on the poll right now, wondering are you guys going to go see Shang-Chi in theaters opening weekend? Now, I'll be honest with you guys. I'm actually pretty surprised at what we have percentage-wise so far. 60% to me? Whew, 60% is not what I thought it would be. I thought it would be much higher, like 90s. You know what I mean? Looking like a hipster, Mr. Rogers. Thank you so much. So, yeah, I'm kind of surprised by that. And, continue to vote on the poll as you guys come in when you see it pinned at the top. Really curious to get sort of a vibe on where people are at with that. And you know what? Honestly, I'm going to be real with you guys. I was a little bummed. I was a little bit bummed. Now, Elisa's totally the opposite. She's really excited, like... and to go to the theater and to have an actual sort of reason to go back to the theater, I do think is very cool. And I am interested and excited in that. But I'm going to be honest, you guys know where I'm at with this. I'm on more of the convenience side. I would rather have it on, Disney Plus and be able to watch it immediately in all the different ways and all the different kind of speeds and, whatever I want to do with the film, frame by frame, what have you. I would have available to me immediately, but it's interesting, right? So I'm very curious. Continue to vote on that poll. And please, smizash the like button. Smizash that like button for us. It really does help us out way more than it actually should. I actually hate that it helps us out that much. Sucks that it's such a thing. Okay, here we go. By the way, we did do an impromptu. It's kind of fun. We did an impromptu watch party last night. I told you guys on the morning stream yesterday, I was like, I'm going to do a watch party for the Bad Batch finale. And then we ended up just hanging out with Star Wars Theory over on his watch party. So I hope everybody saw that, because I know some people were like, wait, when's the watch party? I didn't see that. I just went over with Theory. We're going to figure something out in the future where maybe we'll be streaming over here. He and I will be in a Discord together. And we'll just both have our streams going on or something like that. But yeah, so that was just really impromptu yesterday. And by the way, I am going to do a video about my feelings on the first season of Bad Batch after this stream. So after I get out of here, that's probably what I'll record for the first video of the day, is what did I think of Bad Batch season 1? You know what I mean? Last night, it was a really fun watch party. It was a really fun episode. But it's just, to me, it's out of place for a season finale. It should have been way earlier in the season or connected to that other one or something like that. Oh, what's this on the screen right here? Oh, I'm so glad you asked. This is our exclusive merchandise that is inspired by the What If show. I know, a controversial show, I guess. We'll see. Maybe after the second episode, everyone will freaking love it. But for now, controversial. And we love the What If show. We're doing watch parties for all episodes of What If. And if you dig What If and you dig hanging out with the Nerdvengers, hanging out in the tower, watching What If with us, the only time you're going to be able to grab this merch is right now while the show is on the air. We're going to retire this merchandise after the show's off. So check that out. Again, if you are a Nerdvenger member, you get 20% off your merch. Oh, yeah, and you know what? One other thing, just 'cause I'm super ADD right now. We're doing a business tier stream today at 2 p.m. I want to talk to you guys about, honestly, there's a lot to get into today. Okay, so let's talk Disney. Let's talk what exactly happened here. I'm over on the Diz Insider. Pretty good breakdown that they have over here. And there's honestly a lot of crazy stuff that was announced yesterday. So their revenue, they beat revenue, which was good. They beat earnings, which is good. Okay, they've officially reached 116 million subscribers to Disney Plus. That's really, really impressive. You know what I mean? Like that's a monster of a number. I think they were forecasted at 14.5, and that's even. I think this is really why this is important. That is actually at a time when certain other services are having trouble with their churn rate and keeping people in, and Netflix is not necessarily growing. To beat an estimate like this for Disney Plus, even though it's only by 1.5 milli, is very good, and the share price for Disney did reflect the positivity around all of these announcements yesterday. So if you are holding on to the Disney stocks, 'twas a good day for the investors. Disney theme parks saw profit for the first time since the pandy. Wow. That's pretty crazy, but not necessarily surprising, right? And probably will be diminished. If we're being honest here, there was that little time period, remember, when people were going back, when things were like really like opening up and people were like, dude, I need to spend all this freaking money. You know what I mean? Like, I need to get out of the house. Like, I've been staring at this same wall and the same TV for that, and then everybody went out. So we are getting some of those numbers, and I think we've even sort of descended since then, so they're not necessarily getting the total reflection of the situation, but that is good nonetheless. They've been hitting capacity limits on regular basis. That's, kind of interesting. I don't know what that means, though, because they set those limits, right? So I don't know what that means. The hybrid release option of theaters and Disney Plus Premier Access will not go away completely. They will keep it as an option moving forward. Okay, that was really interesting, and that's honestly, that was one of the first things that, like, as I was watching people tweet about what Disney was announcing and what they were saying, that was one of the first things that people sort of brought up, and they were like, yo, like, dude, that's kind of interesting. And the reason that's interesting, of course, well, there's a number of different reasons, but one of the main reasons is because they are still in the midst of a lawsuit, right, with Scarlett Johansson. So it's like, did they just say that as like a part of that, I don't know, business front, like legalese sort of thing? Because if they sort of shied away from that, or they said like Premier Access was a failure, we're taking it away, does that like give Scarlett some kind of leverage in the lawsuit? I don't know. To me, it's pretty interesting. I think the other side of this is, and we're going to get into some deep speculation. We're speculating all over this mother trucker, because I personally think, conspiracy theory time, right? Conspiracy theory time, put your tinfoil hat on. I personally think it is possible that in some ways, Disney is putting Shang-Chi out to pasture, meaning they know it's going to underperform, and they're not really fighting to change the release strategy, and they might position Shang-Chi to actually lose money and sort of make a statement and then justify Premier Access coming back. I don't know. And that's speculation. We'll get into that in a second here. But it's interesting that they said that the hybrid release option is going to stay intact. The next thing that was announced was saying that Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings will be released exclusively in theaters with a 45-day window before being moved to Disney Plus. Okay, now the explanation for this, which we got to kind of jump down because from what I understand, Bob Chapek just said it, and then boom, goes down here, and it further explains later on in the call. And he said, Disney wants to use Shang-Chi theatrical only release with a 45-day theatrical run followed by a Disney Plus exclusive as a test to see if that is another option they have moving forward. They will maintain the other options, direct to Disney Plus for free, like Luca and Soul, direct to Disney Plus with premier access fee, like Mulan, hybrid theatrical and Disney Plus same day and date release, like Black Widow, Jungle Cruise, and Cruella, direct to theaters with a standard release schedule, how they used to release movies. And now this fifth option, theatrical only release with a shortened 45-day window, then to Disney Plus. This will give the company many options for the films in the future. Yeah, so they have a ton of different options. Like, that is true. And you gotta wonder, like, what, because let's just say that they're just doing businessy stuff, right? Let's just say that they have a lot of faith in Shang Chi. They have a lot of faith in all of their movies, and they're simply just trying to experiment, right? Let's take them at their word with that statement. Well, I'm pretty curious how all of that will shake out, right? Because it seems to me there are so many other factors out there other than just Rona and Delta, right? Like, to me, and I know this is like a weird thing because there's people being like, they're really upset about delays, and it's brought back in sort of this discussion and it's sort of this, I don't want to say culture war argument, but it really kind of becomes this more fundamental thing about, you know, what's going on with the world, right? But I don't think that's the full story. Like, legitimately, I don't think that's the full story. I don't think that's ever been the full story. And it's just really, really curious to me that, like, I guess I'm just wondering, like, how much is this freaking movie going to make, dude? Because to me, Shang-Chi already had a unique set of problems as compared to some of the other movies. Like, even Black Widow. And I've said this to you guys before, and I don't know if I'm going to stick to this or not, but my gut tells me that I think Shang-Chi could do worse than Black Widow, legitimately worse than Black Widow. And again, I almost feel like Disney thinks that as well, and they want it to happen. Number one, it would give them like a nice sort of feather in the cap for the lawsuit situation, where they would be like, well, we turned around and did Shang-Chi without Disney Plus, and we made less money. Do you know what I'm saying? And by the way, Simu made less money as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, maybe that's what they're going to try to sort of suggest out there. It's like they'll be able to spin this one way or another, right? So maybe that's sort of part of it, where they're like, okay, we already know that this film is tracking low. It has a unique set of problems. And I think one of the uniquest things to this film is that let's just call a spade, dude. Let's just say the thing that nobody really wants to say, and that is that this movie was sort of designed as a cultural impact film that was sort of for a huge, like, swath of the human population. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was literally sort of designed to be embraced by a bunch of different Asian folks, a bunch of folks from Asian culture and heritage. That's what it's designed in some ways to be. In a similar capacity, Black Panther was that, right? Black Panther, black excellence, you know what I mean? The first black superhero on the big screen that's doing big things. I know Blade, you know, other heroes as well. But, you know, it's sort of designed as this cultural impact thing. And, you know, to give credit to that movie, you know, it did make that impact. It was supported by that culture in a way that I do not think Shang-Chi is being supported. I mean, you already have the thing going on in China. The fact that this film in China isn't seemingly, I mean, like, I haven't heard any updates, but the Hollywood trades were reporting about how the movie might not even get in, right? The Hollywood trades were reporting about how people had issues with the leads, with maybe even the concept of making your first Asian superhero movie a kung fu movie. Even that in some ways feels tone deaf to certain people in the East. So the movie's not going to be embraced culturally for the entire culture it was designed for. That, to me, is a unique circumstance. That's a unique problem, right? It's not... I don't know if they've ever had this problem other than Mulan. Mulan seemed to be the same kind of situation, right? It was... And boy, oh boy, if they have a Mulan situation on their hands, whew, Shang-Chi's in trouble, bro. Now, the other side of that is you take that part of it off of the table. I don't even think Shang-Chi is being embraced by the North American audiences or the MCU sweaties in the same way that other characters are. You know what I mean? Part of this is just because we have no idea who this character is. Do you know? And that's fair. Like, I think that's fair. Like, you can say what you will about it. It's fair. We don't know who this character is. For some fans, they're like mad about Steve Rogers being gone, about Tony Stark being gone, and they don't want to accept the new toys, right? Dude, that was always a hurdle or a barrier that they were going to have to work past. And frankly speaking, I don't know how much this film is resonating with Marvel fans. I've just seen in sort of what I do, right, which is constantly being on Reddit and Twitter and trying to check out the pulse of where fans are at and see what people are talking about. Dude, I mean, people are not feeling Shang-Chi in the way they've felt other characters that were coming into the MCU. I dare say, honestly, there was more buzz for Captain Marvel than there was for Shang-Chi. I dare say it. I dare say it. The other side of this is, of course, that this movie was designed to come out last year in a year where you would have had other movies coming out that were seemingly less consequential to the future of the MCU, but were introducing important things. Black Widow, but Black Widow's unique. It's, you know, it's one of the Avengers, you know, whatever. But I'm talking about Eternals and I'm talking about Shang-Chi, right? Those two films were designed to introduce us to new characters that are going to be important later on, but they were also designed to come out in a time period before we started to get crazy hyped up, right? Spider-Man's was going to be the next thing that just crazily hyped us up, right? Spider-Man was going to be the thing that's like, okay, we have a year of sort of taking a deep breath after Endgame, seeing Black Widow's solo movie, seeing this new character Shang-Chi and having fun with the kung fu, the action, the craziness like that, right? And then we were going to meet the Eternals. And then we were going to get Spider-Man slapping us in the face with multiversal bananas craziness. Then we were going to get Loki. Then we were going to get some of these other things. And it was like, I think the plan, like the sort of slower side of that plan, has now been injected into a year where, frankly, all the rage is multiverse. Like, all the rage is multiverse. What's going on with Spider-Man? What's going on between Sony and Marvel? Alternate variants of characters. What if, you know, all these other things. It's like, unfortunately, Shang-Chi is a film that feels just like Black Widow did, out of time. It feels like it's out of time. It feels like we dug up a time machine and Shang-Chi Blu-ray was in it. It's kind of what it feels like, you know? And I mean, not to be that guy. Last little bit of negativity before I then talk about why I'm personally super pumped for Shang-Chi. Last little bit of negativity. Hold on, Marvel fans out there getting their pitchforks, man. Getting their pitchforks ready, getting their freaking torches fired up. They're coming into the tower. They're throwing over the barricades. They're coming in. So let me just say one last thing before they come up to the studio and drag me out. Does this movie not feel, just from what we've seen in the trailers, like super MCU contrived to the umpteenth degree? Okay, follow me with this. Daddy issues, reluctant hero, mythical MacGuffin, hero triumphs, has new place in society. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, I'm not trying to be that guy. Don't shoot the messenger. You know what I mean? Don't dislike the Josh. But I mean, come on, let's be real here. Let's be real here. This shit seems paint by numbers MCU. Now I'm here for it. It's been too long. I want my MCU McDonald's. You know what I mean? I want that reliable, tasty, horrible for your brain. No, I'm just kidding. Delicious, like comfort, you know, thing. I want it. I do. And I'm personally here for it. I'm here for it. Like, I love Kung Fu movies, dude. I'm here for it. You know what I mean? I'm a sucker for the Wayward Son, kind of story. You know what I mean? Like the Destiny. I love all that kind of shit. I'm a sucker for Asian culture. I really am. I love that shit. I have 2 Japanese dogs. You know what I mean? I have a bunch of katanas that I do yard work with sometimes, I love Asian culture. Like, I think that a lot of people, especially nerds, have an affinity for Asian culture. You know what I mean? Whether this came through manga, anime, or whatever, like there's just samurais are dope. Ninjas are dope. Shit's dope. Come on, man. Shit's dope. And I'm excited for it. I personally think Simu is amazing. I think he has an incredible amount of charisma, and I think he has the ability to be the new Robert Downey Jr. That's right, I said it. That's right, I said it. He's that good to me. So there's a lot for me that I'm personally super pumped about for this movie. I'm going to enjoy the heck out of this film. I'm going to have a great time making content about this film. But I wonder if it's going to end up being like What If so far, where the wider audiences don't really dig What If the way I do, at least for now. You know what I mean? I think What If is going to win some people over. I'm interested in what happens in Shang-Chi. I see a scenario in which it goes really badly for the film, at least in theaters. Okay? So here's the thing about that, though. If the movie does very poorly in theaters, does that hurt the chance of Simu having a big role in the MCU moving forward? Because that would suck. Because I think that's kind of unfair. Again, there's a lot of circumstances that have sort of piled up that I think are going to detract from this movie's success. And 0% of them are on Simu. 0% of them are on Daniel. You know what I mean? Like maybe a little bit on Feige just for, honestly, making this movie the way that it's being made. It's a little contrived. It's a little, it has some things that I think they could have done better. I don't know if we needed a Shang-Chi movie. Just being real. I don't know if we did. But I'm hyped for it, but also nervous. You know what I mean? Like, The Suicide Squad is a damn fun film. And it is bombing. Like, bombing hard. And they're not doing a digital release at all for Shang-Chi. Now, will that bring a bunch of people into the theater? I don't know, bro. Like, it'll definitely force some people like me to go. But I don't think I'm going to go multiple times in the weekend. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to go, I'm going to watch it, I'm going to go home and wish that I could watch it again on Disney Plus. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at. So let's see here. 62% of you say you will go see Shang-Chi. Okay, let's end that poll. Let's end that poll and let's start another one. Will Shang-Chi make more money? And I see all the super chats. I appreciate all the love. We'll get into Q&A in just a little bit. I got to blurb a little bit more about this. I want to talk about Disney Plus Day. Hey, Stevie, I see you, baby. Thank you, man. By the way, guys, while I ask this poll question, I want to say that Theory and I had so much fun doing that watch party yesterday that we are going to do a whole new channel. In fact, the channel exists. Theory already made the channel. We don't have any content. We have we have some ideas. We don't even have a full ass strategy yet. But we made a channel together called The Movie Bros. And we're going to riff off of the Mario and Luigi theme. And I'm going to be like Luigi and he's going to be Mario. And so we're going to work on like some theme stuff, some merch where like there'll be a green hat and a red hat like Mario and stuff. And we're literally just going to watch movies together and dissect them. So we're playing around with the strategy of what it'll be and what it'll look like. But yeah, man, we had so much fun. We were just like, let's do it. And he already made the channel, so he's into it for sure. Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Yeah. Yeah, we have fun. Okay, let's talk about Disney Plus Day. Y'all know about Disney Plus Day? Have you heard of Disney Plus Day? Are you aware of Disney Plus Day? Disney Plus Day, it will be November 12th of this year. It'll be on the 2-year anniversary or birthday of Disney Plus, which I gotta be real, that was a pretty fun time, man. Getting the Disney Plus, watching Mando Season 1, that was a fun time. Y'all remember that, man? That was fun. That shit was fun. So they're holding an event called Disney Plus Day that will celebrate the success, the successful 2 years and announce upcoming projects. So, pretty fascinating. A lot of people have pointed out that this will likely be their version of DC Fandome. Okay, which is really, really cool. And by the way, I had a blast doing DC Fandome. I want to do a DC Fandome stream again, but to be real with you, I am a little bit nervous because we got copyright stuff even on that stream, and Warner Brothers has done nothing but be more buttholy about their copyright stuff. So we'll have to figure that out. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe we'll just have to pause stuff and put other music on it or whatever. I don't even know. But nonetheless, it looks like they're sort of copying that idea and that strat because it's said to be a multimedia event. And like Disney keeps, like, I will say this about Disney, and we harp on Disney when we feel like they need harped on, but we're trying to be fair over here as well because I think in many ways Disney is ahead of other companies and actually doing stuff that's good for consumers for sure. Okay, in my opinion, of course they have dirty laundry, things they need to correct, culture problems, etc. Name me a Fortune 500 company that does not, right? But yeah, so one of the things with Disney is like with this new digital age and sort of streaming and everything like that, I see a lot of attempts to find a new way to engage with audiences, whether it's their watch parties that are not really watch parties that they do on Twitter, whether it's this attempt to make ancillary content on Disney Plus or even have live events via Disney Plus. This kind of stuff is at least like it's interesting and it shows that they are trying to adapt with the times and trying to find a new like avenue to connect with their fans and supporters. And I'm here for it. I think that's really cool. I'm personally pumped for Disney Plus Day. I mean, I think we're going to get a ton of different announcements, guys. Like they'll probably announce a whole bunch of Star Wars stuff. That's going to be really, really exciting because frankly, we know way more about Marvel and the MCU future right now than we do Star Wars. There's a lot of stuff that's in question despite the December 10th thing where they were like, oh, well, here's all the shows, right? There's some confusion out there and apparently way more shows that haven't been announced, discussed, etc. So I think that we'll have that announcement on November. But you're also going to have so much Marvel. So much Marvel. As a Marvel fan, like it's about to get crazy because in many ways they're ahead of everybody really, but they're ahead of Star Wars. And Star Wars, like if you look at what they're producing and like where they're going with stuff, it's still really ambitious. It needs applauded. It's crazy. And as a Star Wars fan, like we're about to get so much content in the next couple of years. I'm here for it, man. Like, I'm here for it. That's something we need as Star Wars fans. But Marvel's like 10 steps ahead, dude. Like, they don't just have, like, the idea to produce a bunch of stuff. They have the system by which they would do it. They have a very, very fast turnaround on these shows and a completely connected canon that is, like, well looked over. You know what I mean? So it's like, that is going to be so crazy. And this, the guy, I think his name is Winterbaum, that is now in charge of the entire animated division of Marvel Studios. This guy was basically saying that what they're going to do with the animated stuff is going to blow your mind. And I believe that. And as a big, big fan of the first episode of What If and just animation in general, baby, like, whoo, I'm getting pretty freaking excited. About the future of Marvel, the future of Star Wars. You know, DC hopefully gets some stuff together. Flash could be cool, and then maybe they'll have it all set up after that. Again, I will note here that the earnings report yesterday and the call did spike Disney stock. So, you know what I mean? Like, it was very good. It was a good day for Disney. Solid. Again, they have some days where it feels like they're losing. They have some days when it feels like they're winning. Yesterday was a day of dubs for the Mouse House, for sure. So, all right, everybody. That's kind of the updates that I wanted to go over. I don't think there's anything too crazy. Let me check the tweeters, and then we'll check the Reddit as well. I don't think there's anything too crazy going on out there in the world. Oh, I will say, okay, so we did the video yesterday on Venom being delayed, okay? And I might do a Spider-Man update because Willem Dafoe basically said something again, and it's like anytime he opens his mouth about Spider-Man, it's a massive story. So I think all he said was, excuse me, after a burp, but some reporters heard it, and the inflection that he used when he burped and said, excuse me, seemed like Norman Osborn. So Norman confirmed. So that's going on. Might do a vid, or I will do a vid about the Bad Batch Season 1. That's sort of my feelings on it because I'm whelmed. Pretty whelmed with that one. But, different strokes, different folks. All right, let me get into the Q's and the A's now, guys. I will say, as we always say over here, today's stream and all of the streams here are brought to you by Surfshark VPN. That's right. You don't have a VPN? How many times do I have to tell you to get a mother-flipping VPN when you're out on this mother-flipping internet doing this mother-flipping internet stuff? You're out here nerdvenging. Come on, man. Protect your shit. Get a VPN. Get Surfshark VPN. Cheaper than those other bloated price VPNs, and it's even better. And it makes you more intelligent. Your skin shines a little bit better, and you get a little taller. Surfshark did not confirm those last few things, but it's totally true. So get Surfshark today. Use code NERD at checkout to save 83%. That's like a lot of percents. And get 3 months free. Shut your mouth and go get Surfshark today and use the code NERD. And Surfshark is also brought to you by the lovely people you see in the chat with a badge next to their name. The greatest online community. My freaking fam. The Nerdvengers. Out here nerdvenging in these streets. Nerdvengers get access to a bunch of cool things, including exclusive behind-the-scenes streams, 20% off of our merch, and just, the feeling of being ultimately the best nerd that you can be and better than all the other nerds. Holy crap, come on, YouTube. Like, for real, this is what we're doing? Dude, YouTube is just so good at screwing up my day, dude. I gotta figure out what is going on with this Super Chat thing. I miss the first batch of Super Chats every freaking show now, and it's so irritating. How am I supposed to, make people feel, engaged and, people donate this stuff and... Fuck, YouTube, you are absolutely killing me. I'm gonna have to try to go in and figure this out. And this is actually already... I mean, you guys don't want to hear me bitch about this, but this is already something that we're doing to try to fix their other screw-ups. I don't understand, dude. I really don't get it. Come on, bros. Okay, let me try one other thing here. Maybe this... Can this show me? Of course not. YouTube. Come on, man. Come on, man. Let me see. Maybe if I go into here. Maybe I can go to here. Or I can see it here. I got a viewer activity here. Nope. Still sucks. Fuck. Awesome. Okay. Anyway, let me try to pull up the Super Chats that I can see. We'll get into the Super Chats. We'll hang out and chat for a little bit. I definitely want to know what you guys think. So... regardless of YouTube screwing us up, we shall get into this, okay? This is really irritating, though. Okay, anyway, the first one I can see is Kendall saying, either way, Disney will win, success or failure. Yeah, I agree with that, and I think, again, what I was kind of suggesting was they might be positioning this thing, man, to take an L. And they might be like, look at this L we took, Scarlett. Look at this L we took, theaters in Hollywood, and they could leverage and use that as an excuse to just take things to another different model. You know what I mean? I'm interested. We'll see, man. You know, it seems like this is going to be an ongoing debate and an idea that we go over for the next year probably is what is going on with Disney and just theaters in general, right? Like, what is the future of theaters? Will we ever get a billion-dollar movie again? Will we see Spider-Man No Way Home actually crack a billy? What's up with that? Sony seems pretty adamant that they're not going to do a fixed release or a mixed release thing. Man, this really grinds my gears, YouTube. This really grinds my gears, you motherfuckers. People aren't excited about the new Marvel characters because it's clear they are taking the woke approach. I don't like it. So, okay, let me throw a dog a bone here because I actually agree with Petey in this sense. There's a whole bunch of people out there that don't like sort of putting representation and putting more progressive ideas or ideologies into these movies. There's a huge group of people out there that don't like that shit. And to be honest with you, here's my stance on it, right? Like, it doesn't do anything for me. Like, there are people out there, and you know, God bless them for whatever reason. Maybe they belong to one of these groups, and they find it to be incredibly enriching and making them feel awesome. You know, Bob's your uncle. That's awesome. You know, there's people like that. There's other people that don't even necessarily belong to those groups, but love seeing that kind of a thing happen, and they love seeing that happen on screen. That group exists. But I think it's stupid to not admit that there's a whole bunch of other people that, like, nah, fam. Like, that ain't it. For me personally, it doesn't do anything for me. I need a whole bunch of other stuff to get excited about something. Representation at face value, to me, is meaningless unless it's a representation of something that's dope, that a story that matters, something that's really cool to me. That's the way that it works. But that's just me. That's just my opinion. So there's a lot of people out there that probably feel indifferent to this stuff. There's a smaller group of people that are extremely bothered by this stuff. But I think, frankly, there is sort of this sense and this tone out there, probably even among some progressive people, that it's not so much that they don't like these things or care about these values. They're a little bit tired of Hollywood's version of it, or like slapping a sticker or a logo or putting something on their website banner that's really just for clout, and then not actually doing anything to functionally give a shit about these movements or things, right? So there's totally a group of people like that, but I would argue to Petey that the problem with Marvel is not that they are doing that. It is that they are doing that and maybe not worrying about other aspects out there. To me, What If was a great example of how to do something that, yeah, it has like a female lead, it's female empowerment in a lot of different ways, but it's still really cool about Steve Rogers in a lot of ways, and Steve doesn't get punked. Steve is still Steve. He still has all the characteristics of a cool hero intact, so it doesn't feel like you're detracting away from one to give to the other. So that's personally where I feel with it. But nah, man, like it's not just people mad about wokeness. It's more subtle than that. Kendall says maybe Shang should have made an appearance first. Yeah, dude. Again, that's such a great point, man. That's such a great point because other films, like, you know, we didn't have solo Spider-Man stuff in the MCU until after he popped up in Civil War. You know what I mean? You get WandaVision after she's established. You know, there could be something to that, bro. Shang-Chi's just, boom, on its own. It's all new IP. And it's like, okay, that's really, really cool. But who the fuck's Shang-Chi? You know what I mean? Like, for most people, they're like, who is this? Why does this matter? And so, yeah, there's just a lot working against the character for sure. Stevie with the $10 holla. Good to see you, Stevie. Last day of vacation. Can't wait to catch up this weekend. My review of What If I've seen. It was great. Bad Batch sucked. Spidey and Venom will be delayed until next year. See you guys Monday. Take my money. Thank you so much for the support, man. I hope your vacation went really, really well, Steve. Appreciate the love as always. Yeah, dude. Some people think I'm being too harsh on Bad Batch. Bro, I am not. There's a lot of people out there going way harder in the paint on that thing than me. And Star Wars fans are funny, man. Like, you guys already know how I feel about it. But Star Wars fans are some of the fans out there that, like, I think they're the most unreasonable fans on both sides of it out of any fandom. Like, the defense I see of Bad Batch makes zero sense to me. And I'll talk about more of that in my video. I think it's totally okay in a non-toxic way to just come out and be like, dude, I didn't like that. That's not what I want from my Star Wars animated stuff. And this idea that even saying that or having that feeling is inherently toxic, or it means like Dave Filoni shouldn't listen to you, or Kathleen Kennedy shouldn't listen to you because you're negative. Fuck dot. I think we should all get a better Bad Batch season 1. I think we all deserve a better Bad Batch. All of us. Even if you loved it. You telling me you wouldn't have loved better? I don't know. It's a weird situation. Let's see here. PDJ says, when Mando first came out, I didn't watch it for a month because I thought it looked stupid and irrelevant. Imagine how wrong I was. It's true. I wonder how many other people were like that, sort of slow adapters to freaking Mando. That's pretty interesting. And then let's see here. Mate says, I'm excited for the Disney Plus stuff, but they also just delayed Disney Plus to mid-2022 in my country. It was supposed to be here in late 2020. Surfshark time. Hashtag take my money. Dude, thank you for the support, of course. And dang, bro, that is rough going. Like, it's still not out there? That seems pretty terrible. They're going to have to fix that. That seems terrible. Uh-oh. Now I'm like over back at the chat, and the chat's like going crazy. Everybody's all mad about my Star Wars comments, blah, blah, blah. Just watch the video I'm going to do. Just shut your mouth and watch the video I'm going to do. By the way, we didn't even crack 200 likes today. I'm out of here. See you guys. Shut it down, chat. Shut it down. Shut it down. You know? Oh, man. Bad Batch was pretty underwhelming. I had a higher bar for Star Wars, but that's just me. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Jedi Jen says, I was on the Mando hype train right away. Nice. But doesn't having a new character appear in their own movie first make it way more hype because we haven't seen the character yet? Therefore, we're more excited to see the movie? I mean, potentially. I think, like, especially with certain comic book characters, for sure, bro. Like, for sure. Like, if you did a Wolverine movie, if you did, honestly, almost any of the X-Men. But if you did a Doctor Doom movie, a movie that had Doctor Doom for the first time ever. If you did a movie that had, Hyperion or The Sentry or something crazy like that. Absolutely. Shang-Chi just ain't that dude, bro. Like, he's just not. Like, that's what's funny is, like, dude, I like Shang-Chi, for real, and I love, like, those kind of characters, that kind of stuff, but, dude, Daredevil's cooler than Shang-Chi. Iron Fist is cooler than Shang-Chi. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many Marvel characters that are cooler than Shang-Chi. I think Luke Cage is cooler than Shang-Chi, for real. Red Hulk is cooler than Shang-Chi. You know? Shit. I might get the Marvel Encyclopedia out and go page by page and just say whether or not the character on that page is cooler than Shang-Chi. And it's going to be a lot of them. You know what I mean? It's going to be a lot of them. What Fox character do you expect to be introduced first into the MCU? Well, I think they're going for some Deadpool stuff for sure, right? I think they're going to try to get some Deadpool action coming. So I guess Deadpool, technically the first one was Ralph Bohner, though. You know, I mean, let's not go there, but that's technically the first Fox character that gets introed, right? Toad is cooler than Shang-Chi. I don't know about that one. That one's a stretch to me. I think Toad's kind of lame. Pandy or not, I don't think most people are going to care about Shang-Chi. Looks very average, says Nikki. I think you're right. I mean, at what point can we just say maybe just not the coolest character, you know? And look, you can absolutely make the argument that, like, Iron Man wasn't the coolest character when they made him. That is totally true. But I think circumstances, audience expectations were totally different back then. That's so frustrating to me. That's like the people that say, oh, the sequel trilogy didn't need a plan because George didn't have his fully figured out. Bro, what? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. It was totally different back then. And when you're when you're doing a beloved franchise 40 years later, you might want to have a plan. You know what I mean? You might want to have a very well thought out plan because the expectations and the environment is completely different than when it was first being developed. So it's the same thing for me with the MCU. The MCU didn't exist. You know, comic book movies were at a totally different place. Fans and their expectations of this stuff was at a totally different spot. Do you know what I mean? So. All of this backtracking on Shang Chi didn't stop one person on this stream from fanboying when the trailers dropped. Look, I love those trailers, bro. Those trailers look sick. But what's the coolest part of the Shang Chi trailers? Friggin' Abomination. For real, for real. Wong and Abomination are the coolest parts of the Shang Chi trailer. Facts. So. Oh, Robert Sinclair's really upset that I don't like Shang-Chi. Well, I'm sorry, Robert. I'm sorry you feel that way. If you could feel free to leave, my friend. Leave and go in peace. Go in peace. Star Wars fans are crazy. Like, the ones that like everything Star Wars, you're not crazy. Not all of Star Wars is good. Other fans who complain about Star Wars 24/7, either for it being woke or not woke enough, are also crazy. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Star Wars fans are tough, man. You know what I mean? Like, I do think they're tough. They're a tough bunch. I've had my issues with them. So, and I am also one of them, for sure. I hate Abomination. I wish they'd just leave him out of the films. What are you talking about? Abomination is dope, bro. Abomination's awesome. Why do I think they delayed Venom 2? When is it coming out? So Venom 2 was delayed. I think, okay, so here's my thoughts on the Venom 2 delay. I think the October delay was sort of like a toe in the water. Like, it was them saying, please, oh, please, oh, please, gods upon the Greek mountaintop, please, oh, please, let this get better very fast. Because technically, like, I'm sure they're thinking, like, if we delay this to January, and then the bottom falls out on this thing and everything goes back to normal and people are like really excited for movies again and everybody's flocking out to the theaters, then we just screwed up. So I think the October delay is sort of them being like, you know, what if this thing's about to end? Let's just delay a little bit. You know, Halloween time period, it kind of fits. Like, let's just delay a little bit and hope that it gets better. So maybe that will happen. If it doesn't get better, whew, watch out, man. They could delay that thing till next year. And what I said in the video yesterday was, I think the delay to October doesn't really make a lot of sense. But that's kind of my take on it. You know what I mean? That's my take on it. It's like, I think that delay is like a sort of put a toe in the pool. What's the temperature like? You know what I mean? Chris19 with a very generous $10 holla says, just wanted to say, what's up, Josh? Definitely whelmed by Bad Batch, but looking forward to the live action shows. The future of the MCU and Star Wars will work out. It'll just take some time, sadly. Yeah. Well, so here's the thing. Like, you know, look, I can't control how people take the content, for real. Like, I can't control how people take what I say, you know? All I can control is, like, how I deliver things, the nuance that I try to bring to these topics, and my overall feelings with it. Like, basically what I'm saying is that's, like, the nicest way ever to say, like, I can't control whiny-ass Star Wars fanboys that can't accept that this show probably ain't that good. For real. So I have to just try to say what I say about it. And to me, it's like, that's not a damning statement on anybody. That doesn't take away my love of Dave Filoni. That doesn't take away my love of Star Wars. Like, nothing can do that. Like, I love Star Wars. Dave Filoni is a true G, one of my idols. I worship that dude. But I just gotta say how I feel about it, dude. Like, that shit wasn't all that. It's a beautiful looking show. Again, I'll say a lot of this in my upcoming video about it, whatever, and everybody can downvote that and cry about it on the comments of that. It's just not that great. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not that great. So. Don't delay. Just take the L, Hollywood, and move on. I know. Yeah. The fuck did I wake up to? I have 4 Bad Batch episodes to catch up on and really not looking forward to it. I think Bad Batch in a single setting, in a bingeable type setting, is dope. I think it would be much better like that. JPEG sucks, man. I mean, yeah, JPEG's not, yeah. Oh, Kendall. Cole says, I don't know, bro. As a Star Wars sweaty, Bad Batch is solid. I don't know what you're not seeing. Well, here's the thing. Like, I think if you and I sat down and really had a conversation about it, we'd probably find a lot of middle ground and agreement. There's a lot of stuff in there that's awesome. I love going into the Empire, watching the Empire develop, coming out of the Republic. I love what they did with Camino. All to say, you know what I mean? I absolutely loved Cad Bane coming back. There's a lot of great stuff in here, and you guys are gonna make me do my whole video here just because everybody's freaking out. There's a lot that I liked about the episode, which I'll talk, and not just the show, but this last episode. There was good stuff in it, but ultimately, like, this is where I sit on it. Is like, bro, it was not exciting enough. There to me, it's totally okay as a fan to take a step back and say, how does this compare to the other content? Where do I feel this show falls? And honestly, it's not high. You know what I mean? For me personally, it's like there was fun stuff, there was cool stuff, but there's way too much like Sid stuff, filler stuff. The finale itself, to be honest with you, I just had a great-ass time hanging out with Theory and with y'all last night. And if I hadn't had such a good time, I probably would have went even harder on the finale. Because this finale is literally just them getting out of the water of Camino. And it was cool. I liked the way they did it. But it was literally that. That's the finale. They make it. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, for real, that's a lackluster finale, bro. Like, I'm just going to tell you how I honestly feel. I think that's a lackluster finale. Let's see here. What else is everybody saying? Prince Zodiac says, can fans save No Way Home and Venom 2 by flocking to Shang Chi? I don't know, bro. That's a great question. I don't know. I'm sure... There's a lot of factors. There's a lot of factors here, right? So Shang-Chi and what it does in the box office is certainly a factor, but it's also going to be what's going on around the world with the numbers, bro. It's all about the numbers, you know? What are cases like? Are they going down? Are they going up? How are people feeling about this? Because some of it's just consumer behavior, man. At the end of the day, it could just be that it's just one more reason not to go to the theater. One more reason not to go. You start to stack up all that inconvenience. I got to go to the theater. I got to, drive there. I got to take this time out of my day. I got to make sure this is, all this different stuff. It just starts to add up. And then you add on the possibility of like, yeah, well, I might catch the Delta. And like, yeah, you'll live. But like, you don't want to be sick for sure. Like, nobody wants to be sick. So it's like, that's just possibly one more reason not to go. And that's all it's going to take for a lot of people. You know what I mean? In my opinion. Carl says, no Spider-Man trailer until after Venom comes out. I'm thinking Venom getting pulled into the MCU in the Stinger, and they don't want that revealed. I agree with you, actually, Carl. I think that's a big part of it. Is that there's connective tissue behind the scenes. There's stuff going on with Venom, Morbius, and Spider-Man. And honestly, Sony wants the movie theater money. Like, they want a big chunk of the movie theater money. Then they want to send it off to Disney Plus and get like a check from Disney Plus steady. That's what they want. Spider-Man Far From Home was their most profitable movie ever. It was bigger than Bond. It was bigger than anything they had ever done. And leveraging the other Spider-Man and their other franchises in the film, make no mistake about it, this is a massive big play for Sony. They want it to be massive, and they want people to be going out to the theaters. Remember that Venom 1 made $850 million in the box office? Bro, that's huge. Venom's just a dope character from the 90s that I think literally made that much money just because Tom Hardy was pretty dope in it, and we wanted to see Venom in live action. all the comic book sweaties just wanted to see Eddie Brock and the Venom symbiote in live action, and they flocked to it. So Sony's like, they want it. They want that big buck. We'll see if they get it. Kendall says, with a $5 holla, Sony should cut the middleman, the movies, and make a better deal with Disney+. I mean, I tend to agree, but hey, man, I can't, like, that's how I feel about it, right? And that's sort of my inclination, even on the business side of things. But I can be wrong. You know what I mean? I've been wrong before. I know it's hard to imagine. I've been wrong before. So we'll see. There could be a ton of people out there that are like, no, bro, I must see it in theaters. And maybe Shang-Chi will do awesome numbers. Maybe it will. And that would be great. You know what I mean? That would be like a big win for a lot of fans. I'm a Marvel fan. I want the thing to do well. I want it to win, and I am excited for it. You know what I mean? So we'll just see. Michael Phantom with a $5 holla says, Season 1 of The Clone Wars was slow, and Season 1 of Rebels was slow. Both shows got better later on. I hope Bad Batch is the same. So, okay, let me just explain this to you. Michael, I absolutely agree with you, and I think that it's comforting to remember that other shows did go slower, that had their own thing going on, and then they finally found their footing. Clone Wars, to me, was like a total mess of a show until like Season 3 or 4, when they really find their footing, and then it's like, because it's not even in chronological order. Like, Clone Wars is a fucking mess, for real, for real. You know, I love, all you Clone Wars fans are awesome, and it is an incredible show. Don't get it twisted. But as far as from a, like, structural standpoint, the show's all over the place. Rebels is way better structurally, but it also has problems and flaws and a lot of filler and weird moments and just kind of weird pacing. At the end of the day, it's a Dave thing. Again, I love Dave Filoni, but it's a Dave thing. Dave's going to tell his story his way. It's going to be, slower. It's going to be really character driven. And honestly, he likes filler episodes. He likes just having fun in animation. I expect this is just because he grew up on that being a thing. And the whole Buck Rogers feel of Star Wars, that can have a thing. You could have your flavor of the week, your villain of the week stuff with it. But what I'm saying to you is, if that's the line and that's what's being sold, as a fan, I think it's perfectly reasonable for me to come out and say, can we upgrade that model, though? Because this just really doesn't do it for me in the new world, man. Shit needs to evolve. It needs to be popping. Bro, there's so much content and hype stuff out there. Think about Invincible Season 1. Invincible Season 1 was 100 times better than Bad Batch Season 1. 100 times better. Maybe 1,000 times better. Seriously. It's ambitious. It goes crazy. You want to talk about a season finale that leaves you in absolute shock? That one. You know what I mean? That's a show. And we live in a world where that's the new bar. And why wouldn't you want that to be the bar? Why wouldn't you want product to get better, for the expectation to be improving, for competition? That's one of the things we should like about this kind of thing. The competition out there is rising. Star Wars should rise to the occasion. That's all I'm saying. Man, you guys really just turned this into a Bad Batch stream. I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to talk about Star Wars. Bad Batch finale didn't feel as a finale at all. I liked it, but it wasn't as deep as I wanted it to be. It didn't go into the lore for sure. Enzo, what's your question, bro? I didn't see it. Dude, yeah. Invincible's that shit, bro. Invincible's hot. Invincible got people who know nothing about it glued to their seats every week. Emo Joe, you're damn right. If Shang-Chi bombs, what do you think that'll mean for the future of the character? Marvel hasn't had any real bombs except for Black Widow, and she's already out of the MCU. Great question, Renee. And Nikki, I see you. I see you. I'll get to that in just a minute. So it's hard to tell, Renee. Like, if it bombs, does that hurt the future for Shang-Chi, for Simu? I'm not sure. Honestly, here's something really interesting that some people are talking about. I think it's real. I don't know how people feel about it, but I think Carol Danvers is being downplayed a little bit. I mean, her own sequel is now The Marvels and is going to have all these different people in it. and it's being positioned as like a more Avengers type movie, right? I think even nobody's fucking safe, but is that happening because of the box office? Absolutely not. That movie made $1 billion, dude. That movie made a billy. You know, so Captain Marvel makes $1 billion, and yet Feige is so smart. He's so good at what he does that he doesn't bring back the directing team. He brings on new talent for that, better writers, and he's bringing in an ensemble cast to sort of up the ante for fans. He's so good at what he does, he can look at a massive success and still point out the little failures because he's just a damn good producer. So we can hope that regardless of how Shang-Chi performs, he can recognize the incredible aspects of it and give those people, the talent, or the even maybe Simu, their fair shake moving forward. I trust in him to be that good at what he does because he is that good at what he does. In my opinion. All right, let's see here. Nikki says, digging the honesty today, Josh. Keep it a buck. Ignore the complainers. I am agreeing with you, and the sky is falling. Oh, snap. Nikki's agreeing with me. The sky is certainly falling. What have we done? I'm super pumped for the upcoming development confirmed Venom 3 movie that is development that is coming in the future of the Sony universe, as well as confirmed by Tom Hardy as well. Please answer. Okay, Enzo, I got you. So here's the deal. Tom says he has a plan for Venom 3. Tom says it would need to be greenlit by the studio. In that same interview, he's talking about Sony and Marvel together. I don't think that's an accident. As I said in a prior Venom video this week, I do believe that in Tom Hardy's brain, the third Venom movie has to have a Spider-Man in it. He would love to be in the MCU kicking butt with all the Avengers and also hanging out with that Spider-Man. But I think he would settle for any Spider-Man, but I think he strongly wants Spider-Man. He can't really comment about what's going on past his film because, again, it's all behind-the-scenes stuff. It's all secrets and whatnot. But remember that he has posted several different times Spider-Man, especially around that time in 2019 when the Sony deal was off the table. You know, the happiest man in Hollywood was Tom Hardy because he thought he was getting Tom Holland to come play in his sandbox. We'll just see. See how it all goes. Oh, thank you, King James. I appreciate that. Anybody named Gavin in this chat, congratulations. You are now legend. Sounds good to me. Moon Knight suit leak? Dude, get out of town. Don't play with my emotions like that, Nerdvengers. Are we going to have a worldwide streaming exclusive? Nikki says, with a very generous $10 holla. Also, money isn't an indicator if fans like something. Cap Marvel made money because people knew her character would be a big deal. Feige knows now she can't carry a movie on her own. So here come the Marvels. I mean, I tend to agree. Darth Revan says, like I said last night, 447 minutes of my life. Yeah, that's kind of funny. Nikki, I appreciate the love. Thank you so much. I don't see the leak here. Is it on the tweeters? Somebody sent it to me on the tweeters or on the Discord. Wait, what? I dig the new Moon Knight suit and y'all are complaining? People are saying it. Wait, what? Where's it at? Oh, it's trending. Uh-oh, we might have to record this for a clip. We might have to record this for a clip. Wait, what? Okay. Dude, what? Okay. All right, we're going to record this. So everybody be really good in chat because I'm going to put this on the other channel. So be good. Be good, boys and girls. And be good, Nerdvengers. And I'm going to turn the audio down. Okay, we're making a YouTube video together here. Listen up. Listen up. We're going to clip this out. And you all better go watch it. Don't be like Trinity and say, I don't watch recycled content. Fuck you, Trinity. Watch the video anyway. Okay, anyway. Here we go. Everybody calm down. We're gonna peek at it together, okay? Holy mother loving lover mothers, you must be flipping my flapjacks on a Sunday morning. We've got our first official look at the new Moon Knight suit. People are bringing this up in the chat, so we got to get into this together. We got to talk about this. And bam, there it is, right in your face. Welcome to Moon Knight. And I want to know immediately how you guys are feeling. So I see people in the chat. You guys let me know how you're feeling about this. From what I have seen online, there are some people that are not super down with this suit model. Okay, so let's go over just what we can see on here and some of the inspiration for the suit and my feelings on it. So it obviously looks super, super Egyptian. It looks like it's got some mummified, mummy type things going on. You know what I mean? It's that feeling is all over this suit. Way more what I would describe as sort of supernatural and sort of creepy than a lot of the other designs we see in MCU costumes. This really and truly feels unique in a way that not a lot of other costumes feel in the MCU to me. That's sort of my first takeaway with it. The glowing white eyes, dope. Absolutely dope. And if this is really just a photograph of the suit, then that's a practical effect that is put in there with the glowing, likely something to be enhanced digitally. I wonder if he's going to have some of the straps and some of the things that are on the suit moving around, flowing, perhaps organically moving around, something like the Spawn kind of cape or something like that. Very, very cool. We see the crescent moon on his forehead there. You've got the obvious kind of hood thing going on. I wonder what it looks like when he takes that hood off. You know what I mean? And we don't really see much of like a cape going on here, but you do have sort of armored shoulder pads. And to me, dude, this looks dope. Like I am here for it. Oscar Isaac obviously has been super hyped up about this show. Where did this leak come from? I'm not 100% sure. We'll check it out in just a second. I'll see what people are saying on Twitter. But like, dude, Oscar Isaac, you know, being very hyped up for this show. I personally love Moon Knight. I love a lot of the different runs, and especially that Warren Ellis run where he came back and did that 6-issue run, and I'm hoping they pull some elements from that. But this is the first look at this mother flipping Oscar Isaac Moon Knight costume, man. I do wonder how people feel about this. So I see some people in the chat saying it's dope. Yeah, for sure. I think it's pretty cool as well. Let's see, like, where's this come from? A supposed first look at Moon Knight costume on the Disney Plus thing. Oh man, this would be embarrassing if it wasn't actually real. If that Moon Knight suit is real, it looks a little bit too clunky. Yeah, people are dogging on it, to be honest with you already, which is interesting. I think it looks sick, dude. I think it looks sick. There's another look at it right here. You can see the belt in this one. I mean, it does look very different. You know what I mean? It looks very different than a lot of the other suits that we would see. But I think this thing, especially depending on how he moves, bro, like if he's moving the way that I imagine Moon Knight would move, and you know, this, you got to imagine, because he's kind of like Batman, you know, in many different ways, but especially in the way that he cuts a silhouette when he's in his actual suit, okay? There's Mr. Knight, which is a version of the character that's just in a white suit, like a pressed kind of actual like suit, like a gentleman's suit, and that looks totally different with just like a white mask. But this look, we do see this a lot in the different comic books, and he strikes a lot of poses like Batman, whether he's like crouched down with the cape flying behind him, or like with a heroic pose with him standing on top of a mountain or something like that. So imagining this suit in those kind of scenarios, I mean, to me, it works. It looks cool. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Josh won't like it in a week. Shut your mouth when you're talking to me, Carl. But that's it, everybody. Just a little first look video there at the Moon Knight costume for Disney Plus. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below, and come hang out with us live, like all the people that are here live on the live channel. It's always a good time. Do it. Boom. We just made a YouTube video together, guys. It's a short one, but it's a good one. Wow. I don't know. Do we have any confirmation? Any confirmation out there? And I'll go over the other super chats that I saw come in. But do we have any confirmation that this is going to be the one? Oh, here's what I was talking about here, though. Let me pull this up for you guys. So this is what I mean. Like, in this Batman vibe, right? Like him just cutting that kind of a silhouette there. This kind of thing, like, dude, this feels like a strong, representative of what we're getting in there. This feels like a lot like it. This is Mr. Knight, which I do think is dope. I honestly hope they do this design as well. It's really, really cool. And then there's some fan art here. So I think what some fans are saying is they would have preferred it to be a little bit more clean, like these. Like these. Put a poll up for the suit. Good idea. Good idea. Yeah, we're still going. We're about to end, though, because I got to go to the post office. I got a couple expensive magic cards to pick up at the post office. Do we love the new Moon Knight suit? Boom. Poll created. Poll created. Let's see what y'all think. Let me get into the other super chats here. Let's see here. John White says, I can totally wait 45 days for Shang Chi. It will be on Disney Plus before What If is over. Wow, that's a great point. I know I couldn't wait 45 days for Iron Man, Cap, Spidey, etc. Dude, that's like exactly what I was saying, bro. That is, I think that's the deal. I think that is the deal, bro. So we'll see. We'll see. I could be wrong. I'm open to being wrong. Okay? That's like never really happened before, but maybe someday I will be wrong, and I'll admit it. The real Jesse Lee Reed says, Lucasfilm is looking for their Sabine. Do they not have Chloe Bennett's contact info? It's funny. We talked about that yesterday. I agree that Chloe would be great, but a lot of people, especially comments on the video for the replay, like people that watched it on the replay, were like, no, she's not Asian, or she's not Asian enough. I feel like she is Asian. Is she not? But I guess she's not as Asian, or she doesn't have as many predominant Asian features as some of the other actresses. I don't know. Is Tia Sakar Asian enough? Because I think Tia is great. I think she would do great in live action, honestly. But, they're really looking for someone, I think. The main thing is who will play off of Rosario well. Who's going to play off Rosario the best? So maybe that's kind of what narrowed it down to those three. We don't really fully know what they're looking for. But Sabine's a big deal, man, and I'm pretty pumped for Sabine as a character. So Dorian Trussell says, Moon Knight looks mega-level awesomeness. Excelsior! Dude, that's awesome. Thank you so much for the support, brother. And I'm into it. Let's see what the... Ooh, dang, dude. 90% of y'all think it's dope, dude. Dude, 90% of y'all are loving it. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. This is fun. This is pretty fun. Yeah. And Ethan Hawke also opened up about his Moon Knight gig. That's kind of interesting. Should we read this article as well? This just happened 8 minutes ago. I could also clip this out and add it to the other vid. Maybe we should go over this as well. Or I could just do it for a vid. So there's some extra... You know what? I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it, and I'm going to put it into the vid so that you guys have something new to watch it, and maybe that'll convince Trinity to actually watch the clip. Jeez. Sabine is not Asian. LOL. Her mom and brother are Caucasian, and her father is Spanish/Latino. Have you seen Rebels? Yeah, I've seen Rebels. You know what, though? I'll be completely honest with you. When it comes to race and nationality in Star Wars Rebels, it's kind of hard for me to tell, dude. Like, a lot of people thought that Ezra was white. Do you know what I mean? And he's not, right? But it's subtle, and they change skin tones. Like, honestly, people try to cancel Bad Batch about their skin tone shit. Like, it's so ridiculous out there. I don't know. For me, I'm never quite sure. But Sabine did seem to be Asian to me. But who am I? I don't know. The reality of the situation is that those are the three actors that they're looking at for the role. So it would appear they're either going for someone Asian or all of those actresses just happen to be Asian and also embody something else that's really important for the role. That's straight facts, dog. But yeah, of course I watched it, the real Jesse Lee. Kanan is white, though? I don't know if he is, actually. Gotta be honest, I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah. Dorian Trussell, following up with a very generous $10 holla, says, we have Captain Carter in What If when X-Men mutants enter the MCU, so would it be cool to see if Sabretooth becomes... Dude, I would love that. That's actually... Bro, Dorian, that's such a cool train of thought because I want X-Men and I want mutants and I'm excited to see what Feige does with it. But, like, bro, I wish... Oh, how badly I wish we were already into the mutant stuff and we could start seeing What If mutant stuff. But the truth is, like, dude, we've got time for that. We could still get that, bro. And they could do an animated version of, like, Age of Apocalypse universe. Like, show me the pirate murderer Nightcrawler. I am here for that, baby. So there's a ton of fun stuff that they could do, whether it's animation, live action, or whatever. Like, dude, the Marvel sandbox is just cracking open. We have... The next several years, ladies and gentlemen, are going to be nuts for Marvel fans, for sure. Mate says they should get a Mando actress. They should get a Mando actress to play Sabine. Yeah. I guess. What do you mean by that? I guess I'm confused. You mean like the one of the Mando actresses we already saw? Because I don't know about that. Look, I think I trust the casting over there. I think they did a great job. I think Rosario is great as Ahsoka, personally. So whatever they do with the casting over there, you got to trust that team. You know what I mean? You got to trust that team. For now. Bruh, I like the suit. The fuck you talking about? Dude, Ezra isn't white. Yeah, I know he's not white. I know. Jeez, guys. What are we even talking about over here? We're like arguing about total fictional characters that were first created in animation, and the animation style is hyper stylized, and we're arguing about what real actual race they are in a completely fictional world where those races, while they do, I guess, exist, are totally not consistent with the earthbound genetics that we've come to know. Like, what the fuck did this stream turn into? What happened? What happened to our beautiful, lovely little crap on Shang Chi stream? All I wanted to do was get in here and be like, you know what? I like Shang Chi, but low key that shit's going bomb though. And all I wanted to do was give everybody just a little bit of unease, right? Where they're like, I don't know about Josh anymore. I love to leave you guys with that vibe on Fridays where it's like, man, I just don't know about Josh. I guess I'll have to come back Monday and see if I like him still. You know, that's kind of the thing, you know, leave him wanting more, you know, unlike the Bad Batch. That's all I wanted to do was get in here, ruffle some feathers, and cause some chaos and get people pissed off. And all the fucking sudden, we're talking about the race of cartoon characters! Anyway. I meant an actress from the planet Mandalore. Oh, yeah, no, they should get an actual Mandalorian to play her. Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I 100% agree. Oh, it's Friday the 13th. Maybe that's why the vibe is weird, huh? Ruffle the feathers. Get people out of the Twitter bubble. Yeah, we'll get there. Jensen Baker says, can't wait for Shang-Chi. Dude, me neither. I think Shang-Chi's going to be awesome and probably make a lot of money. Never going to happen, Josh. You're too nice, even when you think you're being mean. Aw, thanks, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's fictional. It's fictional. Twatter. That's a funny way to say it. Yeah, Twitter is kind of the twatter, huh? Okay, I'm going to get out of here, guys. I'm going to record a little bit about the Moon Knight just to add to that clip that we took out of the stream. So look for that in about an hour. It'll have that clip where we were talking about the suit. Then I'm going to talk about Ethan Hawke's new comments about Moon Knight, and just generally speaking, talk about the Moon Knight show and how excited I am for it. So look out for that video. I will also record a here's my feelings on the Bad Batch video so that you all can get really mad about that. Smash the dislike button like 60 times and comment your angry comments. So we'll work on that as well. Stream at 2 p.m. today, 2 p.m. We're doing a business tier stream, so come by for that. Lots of fun stuff to get into with that, okay? Thank you, guys. You guys are the best. Much love to all of y'all. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video. Stop the music, Chet. Apparently, Mike Motherflippin' Porter voted, and he hasn't even seen the new Moon Knight suit. Dios mío. Why you do this to me, Mike? Why you do this? Guess we'll just have to watch the video, Mike. I bet you like the Bad Batch finale too, Mike. I bet you ain't even seen that. I bet you like Shang Chi. You ain't even seen that. You know, in some ways, I wish I was more like Mike Porter. Love you, bro. All right, everybody. Take care. See you soon.